The benefit of listening to this video: you will learn to recognize when a conflict arises and to react in a better way. You will learn to evaluate the conflict systematically and to find systematic solutions that will guarantee you better results of conflict resolution. Hi, welcome to Coach in Business and my episode concerning the topic conflict resolution, one of 11 episodes which I have uploaded to my YouTube channel concerning exactly this topic. Within this topic we will get into the basics, which means that we will discuss the definition of conflict resolution. We will discuss what conflicts are. We will discuss 4 typical conditions of a conflict. We will discuss 7 typical causes of a conflict and typical types of conflict. Let's go into the definition. Conflict resolution means that we are aiming at resolving a phenomenon consisting of conflicting views, of conflicting decisions or needs of individuals or of groups. So the question is, what is a conflict if we are trying to resolve a conflict? A conflict in itself can be described as a certain point in time where 2 different tendencies, attitudes, concepts, ideas, views, beliefs, interests, goals, values, feelings, or just simply different perceptions of reality collide. The difference is that both contradicting views, contradicting attitudes are not accepted by the contrary party, and there is a collision, a dispute as a consequence. So what are the mandatory conditions to be met to have a conflict in place, to be in a conflict? We have to have 2 or more parties involved which are dependent on each other. Both parties or more parties do have incompatible differences like interests, needs. We talked about it before. We then have 2 parties who cannot achieve their objectives without the participation of the other party. So this means that I need the other party, the other side, in order to be able to fulfill my own goals. And the 4th one is that at some point both parties are either blocking the realization of my goal achievement. So what are the typical causes of a conflict? Typical causes are, for example, communication errors. So situations when we are not able to exactly communicate to the other side what we are expecting to receive from the other side. Then unmet needs or expectations, typical situation in private relationships. We are not able to communicate what our expectations are. Then when we need to function in a specific social role, not always we are against such a role, but still we have to function within it, for example at work or in relationships. We have a need to maintain a positive self-esteem, so as soon as somebody is criticizing us, at some point we will try to jump back to show that that we are stronger, better than suggested by our opposite side. Often we are dealing with stereotypes and misunderstandings. Often we have to deal with errors in perceptions of people and situations. So at some points we just do not have enough information in order to perceive the reality in an objective way, because information is missing and we need to interpret what is behind the situation. And oftentimes emotions are involved. So at some point the emotions are so strong that we are not as able as necessary to process the information in a standardized, objective way. We are taking shortcuts. We think we are aggressive, we think that we are unsatisfied, and this is the way we interpret situation. So what kinds of types of conflict do we have? We have a data conflict, so there is a difference in information. We have a conflict of values, which is the most deep type of conflict, where one side does not know what the other side values the most. For example, to be kind. We can argue about a specific situation at work, for example, but at the end it would be arguing about values like kindness. We have relationship conflicts, we have conflicts of interest, typical type of conflict at work, where I'm aiming at another state in my department compared to my colleague, and we both then collide. We have structural conflicts, for example, in big companies where two departments collide with each other. And very important, and this is the last one for today, we have intrapsychic inner conflicts. This means that, for example, my real me collides with my ideal me. So I have a picture of the ideal me, how I should look like. At the same time, the real me is not exactly as the ideal me, and this is a point where both me's collide, and there is a conflict within me and myself. I hope this episode helped you in order to categorize at some point conflicts and conflict resolution. I hope you liked listening to me. Thank you. I wish you a smile every day, and see you next time.